Good evening, and welcome to the bedtime stories. To bedtime stories, not no the in front of that one, just bedtime stories, where I review books chapter by chapter and then give you my commentary after I've read them per chapter. After each chapter, I give you my commentary on what I read. So, we're still on Caught Up Loving a Trill 1 4. Today I'll be doing the review of chapter 12, this being episode 13. And we're going to get into it because, child, I think I'm right, but I think I'm right about Toy. I can't wait to get into it. I cannot wait to get into this chapter. A bedtime cocktail. Okay, bedtime cocktail. We're gonna take it on back. Like last episode, we took it back to an old fashioned. Well, we're taking this one back to a whiskey sour, a simple whiskey sour. I am not going to use any egg whites because I don't have egg whites. So it was delicious with the egg whites. Nothing against it again, but no egg whites this time. It's just going to be whiskey, simple syrup, and instead of lemon juice, I'm going to use lime juice. And I'm going to put a dash of some bitters in there just to give it a little unk. Okay? So we start off with a whiskey. Old Bart's Old Bardstown is what we're using again this time. So I have enough that I can do. This time I'm not going to put much in there. I'm not going to do two jiggers of anything. It's just going to be one jigger of this old Bardstown whiskey. I don't have to do a taste test because we already tasted it last time. If you want to see my reaction to tasting Bardstown straight, then go back to the last video and like, share, and subscribe it too while you're there. Okay, so we did one jigger of whiskey. We're gonna do a half a jigger of simple syrup. This one, this this simple syrup, you can see is dark. Even though it's in this green, it's dark. I made it with a brown sugar, so that I thought it would be good to use with my whiskey. And then I'm gonna do a half a jigger of lime juice because that lime juice can really overpower things. Okay, now we're going to add some ice into my shaker. And we're going to close up the top and begin to shake it like a Polaroid picture. Well, maybe not like a Polaroid picture. So you're going to shake it until it's nice and cold. It's a dark whiskey sour. Now, I don't have the camera low enough so you can see what my table looks like, but I'm going to lift it right on up. We're not garnishing it with anything. This is a dark whiskey sour, ain't it? That's because I used that dark brown sugar to make my simple syrup. It would have been better with the egg white, but this does the trick. Whiskey sour. So let's get into chapter 12. Oh, girl, let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all, this it leaves you on the edge for chapter 13. I probably am going to read it, and I might have to do a special bedtime stories just to catch up, just to get this, just to get into this news that I already know it is. But let's get into it anyway. Because, you know, I mean, a book, if you just said what the obvious was, we wouldn't have a whole 18 chapter book. Okay? So, chapter 12 starts off with Alicia, Champ's sister, in front of Sharika's, or in the parking lot of Sharika's laundromat. And she's frustrated. She's like, tell me why am I here for? Why am I here? And Champ is kind of just like, come on, sis. You know why you're here. Okay? Just like, but what you just get this information, yo. Go in there, find out what you can know. Because if Toya Ford is back into, or she's still in the drug game, that is going to make a whole different story. So apparently, that little year that she kind of took over Tyson's business, she really made a name for herself. People was talking about Toy like she's the Don Dada. Okay? I just find out if she's still in it, you know. It's like, and he's like, where do you get this information from anywhere? Dewan. He was like, yeah, he knows. He said that he knows someone in his who used to be close to Tyson, and he said that this was, you know, used to be owned by him. Just go and check out and see, you know, what you can get, whatever information you get, because this is going to be very valuable, you know. And though they're going on the tip of Dewan, which we found out he got from who? Noah. He was the inside man for Dewan and vice versa. Okay. But he said he used to know someone, and he says that she's supposed to be in there. I said, and we trust in this dude, he said, for now, until he has done something specifically to prove that he's not trustworthy, we're going to trust him, but still going to keep him at a distance. You know, we're not going to include him in everything, you know? He's like, fine. You know, she's hesitant in doing it because she feels like this is a little dummy task that he has, but this is very important. And the information that you gather is going to make a whole difference, because if Toy's still in the game, she sure enough is going to be very good to kidnap. Okay, hell yeah. If he doesn't try to flip her to his team, if he don't try to flip her to his team, but what Champ ain't factoring in is Saint. That's right, song. Okay, he ain't factoring in him. He's thinking small. When he need to be thinking big, bitch. Champ, think big, bitch. Think big. You are thinking small potatoes if all you're focusing on is Keon and Zeus. You need to be thinking big, bitch. Think big, bitch. Okay? So moving on. So she goes in. She's like, fine. Champ is, siblings. He said, come on. He said, sis, Lee, can you just do what I asked you to do? Just go and get that information for me. She was like, fine. She's still frustrated. So she's like, she gets out of her truck and she goes into a very empty business. Maybe only two patrons that are there patronizing the laundromat. And she walks into a nearly empty laundromat. She's looking around like, Now imagine these are shades on, because she got some fly ass shades on, like my glasses. Get it, Black? Get it? Anyway. So she looks around and then she pans over and she sees a middle-aged woman sitting at the not the desk, but the in the like in the window. You know how they be having that laundromat where the attendant sits, the laundry attendant, and she's sitting there flipping through her magazine. hmm And she walks over to the middle-aged woman, and before she asked, the woman asked her, "Can I help you?" Without even lifting her head up to give her eye contact. "Can I help you?" It took the power of the gods, okay, to keep the smile on Alicia's face and treat her with respect, because it was rude. That was rude. She was like, "Can I help you?" She was like, "Hi, yes." She made up this whole. I remember a while back there was a for sale sign in the window, and I was wondering if it was still on the market. I'm an investor, and I'm looking to do business and invest in a business, and I was just seeing if it was still on the market. Like, now, I mean, my daughter and her used to be sister-in-law is trying to work on getting the business to turn around. I don't know what for. And she's just spilling all the beans. Yes, yes. My daughter Sharika is the owner. And that bitch toy, you know. At least she'd do more. I said, I don't know what she gonna do. The way she did my son, it ain't right. She's just spilling all the beans. Toy Ford, Sharika Ford, her daughter, her son is Tyson. She's just, just an idiot. She's just an idiot. Now I know why Tariq can't stand her nosy living off of her son ass. Even though I respect her for being keeping a job and relations with the post office so she can go back there and work. Because Miss Cynthia hmm never liked Toya, which you mean that relationship with Tyson had he not, if he had not cheated on her so badly, okay, they would have been a successful couple. Because my belief is your mama ain't gonna like your woman. Men, the one that she doesn't like is usually the ones that the men tend to stay with. Okay, and I be jinxing my poor son's relationships because I be liking everybody, or at least I am cordial. It's like I don't like her because it's just gonna drive him to her. I don't, whatever. No, she's cool. She's cool. But the next one I really, really like, I'm gonna have to pull her aside at some point and say, okay, you're gonna have to act like we don't like each other. He'll probably love you then. I don't like that bitch. I don't think she got the best interest in her. I'm gonna have to pull her aside and say we're gonna have to not like each other. But Cynthia, so as Alicia is listening to Miss Cynthia spill the beans to just whoever would listen to her crazy ass. Okay, she's like, it sounds like I didn't got myself in the middle of some unfinished family business, but okay, you said, well, just come back tomorrow. Cynthia and that bitch Toy will be here, and you can get whatever information you need from them. She said, okay, thank you, and I will return tomorrow. She walks out there like, child, child, Okay, so she walks out of there. Let me tell, and now she knows if she tells her brother Champ what she's gotten, he's gonna send her back for more information. So I don't see why she would go back and tell Champ anything right yet until she actually speaks to Sharika. And she wants to get Sharika alone. She doesn't want, she's not going to come back the next day. She's going to come back where she can get Sharika by herself. Yes. She doesn't want to risk Toy recognizing her. Okay. So I guess there must have been some big players ball where all the people that's in the drug business hung out together and they knew each other or they did something that they know each other. Okay. So we end with Alicia leaving and Toy and Cynthia telling all Toy's business. And the next scene starts with Toy at her sister Katrina's place picking up her girls. She then went to her doctor's appointment and she's picking up the girls. So her sister answers the door. She can hear the squealing of her girls having a good time with their auntie, Katrina. They're having a good time. See, her sister comes to the door out of breath. Ooh, and she opens the door wide. Come on in. So she could step in and he said, you want to join? We're having a pillow fight. He's like, oh Lord. And she follows her sister into her living room where her Journey was like, Mom, it's your turn. And she's like, oh no. Mm-mm. Y'all keep on playing. I'm going to leave the pillow fighting to y'all. Okay? Okay, sweeties? I love you. I'm going to just be sitting over here looking cute. So they go on, continue playing. And Katrina said, y'all go ahead and play. It gives me some time to sit down and talk to your mama. So the sister pulls up, sits next to her sister's like, so, how was it? How was your date with Mr. Evans? Word on the street from Britain, that is, he was a fine man that was at the party that you met. So you give him some? Give me blow from blow details, girl. Tell me, you know how we women be. Okay, ladies, you know how it is when your best friend go out on a date with somebody, especially after a long time of not, or just breaking up a year or so ago, and she still haven't gotten back on the bus of dating. You know what I'm saying? So we happy for her. We want to know. So what he do when he see you? You know what I'm saying? Tell us blow for blow. I want to know everything. So you give it up. You knocked the boots last night. Ow, you nasty girl. And Toy's like, girl, no. What kind of woman do you think I am? I am not a whole slut in these streets. Girl. Damn. She said, and so Katrina's like, damn. So you really was sick, huh? Yeah. So, And Toy said, like, yes. I don't know what kind of whole shit you think I'm on. You in Britain, but y'all need to mind your business. Mind your business. And stop worrying. I was like, worry about the business that pays you, sis. You know, girl, I am not like that. He was not going to get none. I was not going to let him hit it that quick. He's like, oh, he said, okay. Actually, I was sick. I just got back from the doctor. So, prying a little deeper, not learning her lesson. She's still all up in her sister's business. Katrina said, so you just came from Dr. Clark, the primary care physician that they've been going to for years since children. She's like, nah. Toy paused for a second. Dr. Simmons. She's like, oh, now Katrina is totally oblivious. Totally oblivious because she doesn't know that her sister had relations with the fine ass, sexy ass, boss ass Hassan. Okay. So she's like, okay, I see your plan. You try to get on them birth controls before you give it up to Mr. Evans, huh? She's like, girl, no. Girl, she's like, girl, no. Mm-mm. But, she said, you mind your business. Go and get my girl stuff. Okay? Mind you, this is my commentary on the book. This is not exactly how it went down. This is me acting it out and taking creative control and doing it the way I would say. Girl, mind your business. Girl, go and get my girl stuff. Y'all nasty girls. Y'all hoes out there trying to get me to hoe like y'all. So the sister comes back. She puts the bags, her niece's bags by their mother on her island, her kitchen island. And she said, for real though, Katrina, it doesn't matter who you sleep with or don't sleep with. You are a great mom and you're doing a really good job. Okay, taking care of your daughters. And we're proud of you. We support you. We just want to make sure you're taking care of yourself as well. And what they're saying is not about who she's sleeping with. We just want you to kind of, enjoy life. Your life isn't just your girls, okay, and running businesses, okay. You deserve to be loved too and taken care of as well. Not just sexually, but just having a partner like you had when you and Tyson was together. You know what I'm saying? We just don't want you to just basically lose yourself in the girls. Okay. Because real talk. Talking from a single woman who put my reason for living, my reason for working and taking on the careers that I did was for my only child. You know what I'm saying? And once they grow up and they leave you high and dry, and it's just you, it is hard getting back to just doing something for you. It took me a while to really just, what do I want? You know what I'm saying? I'm still seeking that out. And I'm 50. My son is 26 years old. And taking care of me. You know what I'm saying? And what do I like to do? Now I did stuff. Now, seems like Toy, she had a whole relationship. She's getting over being married for several years and being with this one guy for most of her adult life up until this point. So I don't know that feeling, but I do know how it is, how you can get lost in taking care of everybody else except for yourself. Well, this is what her sister is basically trying to say. So she leaves her sister's home and takes the girls. She said, girl, I love that you keep them, but I think it's time for me to go ahead and take these girls home. It's getting late. So she takes the girls home. They're up for a while, whatever. They watch a couple of movies or watch a movie. She puts them to bed about 10 o'clock. She tucks them in. Love you, mwah, mwah, mwah. After tucking them in, she goes to her living room and she sits down and she sees that she's gotten a few missed calls. One of them, Sharika, the other one, Zeus. But before she decides to call any of the calls back, she wanted to make this one call. Guess who it was she was trying to call? Guess. Take a wild guess. That's right, Hassan. She wants to call Hassan. You know why she wanted to call? To tell him that she's pregnant with his child. Okay? But she calls And like before the phone rings, it picks up like, hello? Hello? Oh, dang. Like he calls, first he takes a heavy breath before when he picks up the phone, like he's like, but it wasn't a frustrated, heavy breath. It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to have to tell her. Maybe I knew she'd be calling soon. He's like, hey, I guess we were thinking to call each other at the same time. What's up? He was like, yeah. She's like, look, Hassan. She just jumped to the point and said, we need to talk. The deadliest word that men can't stand to hear coming from a woman's mouth. We need to talk. And Hassan, aka Saint, says, yeah, I expected you to call. I know you have questions and you will want more details on what's going on. So she says, she's like, what? What? What are you talking about? What details? What information? What are you talking about? I haven't spoken to anyone. Oh, 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 you don't know. Yeah. Scar died. She's like, what? I am I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. How are you doing? You know? So she kind of consoles him. And then she's like, but anyway, son. And she begins to say, I call because I've been busy with the girls lately and I've been wanting to call and talk to you, see how you were doing. So I'm doing fine. No, no, no. Actually, let me correct myself. Actually, he tells her that he had passed, that Scar had passed, and Toy gave her condolences. And he says, you know, Scar did it in true Scar fashion. He sat up there and he have everything already arranged. He has his viewing. He has a thing going on here in San Antonio before he goes back to Panama to be buried. Okay. So he had already planned his funeral, everything that he wants. Because Scar sounds to me to be a complete control freak. So Hassan kind of like, so are you going to come to the funeral or memorial service here in that San Antonio? He's like, she was like, ah. I said the summer is winding down, kind of like now in August. Well, it would probably be closer to the end of July, and the summer's winding down, and the girls is about to go back to school, and she doesn't really want to mess it up. But then at the same time, I cannot avoid going to see the man who really helped me get through a really dark period in my life and show him my respect. And so she says, sure, just let me know the details and so that I can book a flight and I'll be there. Saint like a true boss. I said, you shall not fly commercial. Okay. He doesn't say that, but he says, you will not fly commercial. I will send a private jet and I'll give you all the details on where you need to go and be to catch that and be here. Okay. I'll let you know. Okay. And don't you even think of arranging a lodging situation. You'll be staying with me. Okay. Like, oh, daddy. That's the type of daddy I need in my life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I am easy to please and not easy to please. I'm a complicated woman. Okay. Any rate. So she was like, she wanted to ask about his lady friend, but she said, nah, I'm not going to ask. Okay, babe. And so they get off the phone after having an awkward silence for a minute. because she did attempt to tell him, but then she said, nah, she chickened out. And I think I can understand her chickening out on this one because the last thing Saint needs to have on his mind is burying his mentor, his father figure. Okay. And worrying about her being pregnant. You know what I'm saying? If he hadn't told the other girl, Desiree, to kick rocks, well, I mean, I know that sounds bad. If he hadn't broken up with Desiree, this is going to be an awkward situation when she arrives for this funeral or this memorial service for Scar. It's going to be real awkward if she's staying with him. And then again, if she's staying with him, ooh, wait a minute. Desiree don't know about the house. Desiree doesn't know about the house. Desiree doesn't know about his house in San Antonio. Desiree don't know. She just knows he has a condo. So yeah, of course she could stay there. The only one that has the security codes and all the information is Toy. Desiree is just someone to fill the space while Toy make up her mind. But anyway, that's just how my theory is. So it is with her agreeing to stay with him and her not telling him about her visit with Dr. Simmons. So that's the end of that. I can't wait to come back to you with chapter 13 because this is going to be real, real, real tricky. Because will her going and getting on a private plane give Champ the information he needs to know that Toy is still in the drug business, the pharmaceuticals to be specific, street pharmaceutical. Will Toy tell Saint at the memorial service when she goes to San Antonio? Has Saint told Desiree about his house? Is he even still dating that girl after the night him and Toy had? Is he even with her? I'm just saying. I am just saying. Desiree doesn't even know about his business dealings. So she don't know nothing about Scar. She don't know nothing about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Or did Saint's little sister tell her the information and Desiree knew all along? Ooh, child, I can't wait till I come back next week with the bedtime story. With the bedtime story. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. Suggest another Black-owned fictional author. And I will take a look at it and get the book and see if there's something I want to review on bedtime stories. And if you want to support this channel, all that will be in the descriptions below. And last but definitely not least, get this book. Go to michelleelaine.com. That will also be in the descriptions below in this video. And get the series. And catch up. And then go back and review my stuff. All right? Y'all have a good evening. Good night.